Chris Liquin.
Marc Colcer.
Sunny.
There we go.
Nice.
Well, hey, Chris, welcome to the podcast. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good. Very good day in Chicago. Thanks. How are you?
Good.
The new Cupcake, or the new CEO of Cupcake.
What were you about to say before that?
I guess the new Cupcake
the new
of CEO.
Cupcake. the new Cupcake.
Hey,
the new Cupcake, yeah. The new head Cupcake.
There you go.
What's going on, man?
Not too much. Cupcake's exciting time for us right now. We're in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. I love it.
We're in the kitchen. I like that. You officially can say we're cooking up some shit, and everybody, that makes perfect sense in so many ways. So the dad joke in me would love that. I don't want to say the dad in me because I'm not a dad, but the guy who likes to make dad jokes in me would love that. So, okay, so walk us through, how did you end up in the position of CEO of Cupcake? What were you doing before that, and then how did you end up getting in this role?
Yeah, super exciting. I think for the last, call it 2.5 years, I've been at Gary V's Web3 agency. Vayner, it was at Vayner NFT, and then we went to Vayner 3 as the space expanded. So that was the last 2 years, which was a marketing agency. It was working with Fortune 500 brands, the Budweisers, the Pepsis, the Coinbases, the Crocs, right? Any mainstream brand that was looking to dip their toes into Web3, we were kind of supporting them behind the scenes. We can get into this, but there was like some super cool moments. We put like NFT in a Super Bowl ad for Bud Light. We had Budweiser bought beer.eth, so it was one of the first brands to kind of buy one of the
You were
ENS
behind
domains.
beer.eth?
Yes, yeah. That was all Vayner NFT.
Hey, yo, bullish?
Super bullish, and I think so many brands like got it wrong, but I think ours were on the right side of history from that perspective. We really tried to like understand the culture, the ethos of the space, use the tech for the right ways. But I think over the last, call it 6 months, I got tired of pushing the Web3 boulder up a hill, working with these cruise ships that were saying, hey, we are very excited about blockchain. We're down to do some pilots, but this is a 10-year journey for us, I think. So we'll see those brands continue to like test and experiment. But for me, I was ready to go build some stuff. So when I got introduced to Jordan and Bartosz here in Chicago, it was awesome. Chicago's my hometown, and finding like a very cool little pocket for crypto here, it was like kind of a no-brainer. And the rest is history. Yeah.
What got you most excited about what they were building? Was there something about the opportunity that really spoke to you, especially after your last experience with Vayner?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing about what Cupcake is doing, well, two things. One, they're doing cool shit for consumers in crypto. And I think for me, looking at the whole breadth of where I could go play in crypto, I think after my last 2 years, it made sense to kind of do something around consumer, around loyalty, around engagement, around social. And then, building on Solana, that's the right chain to do that, right? And I think having both a company that was kind of aimed in that consumer direction and building on a chain and experience, a track record building on a chain that's, I think the Solana consumer app meta is coming this year, and so I think we're in the right place, right time.
We've seen a lot of fun stuff come out of Cupcake prior to this. They've done a lot of the activations for like Claynosaurus, for example, been a part of those packs that have the NFCs to them, and you get to kind of essentially mint the NFT after attending an event. Were you around for a lot of these activations and you saw them and you've kind of been following the brand before? Was it something that you were introduced to just recently? Like, what's your history been with Cupcake?
I remember Lollapalooza. I knew it as just the Solana Lollapalooza partnership, and I was like, oh, this is dope. A lot of our partners when I was at Vayner, like the Johnny Walkers and Smirnoffs, that did experiential stuff, were using like a similar mechanic, right? The QR code or the tap to scan, get the NFT. So I kind of knew of this mechanic. I didn't realize it was Cupcake behind the scenes. Cupcake was new to me, but as soon as I saw we had cupcake.com, I was like, hell yeah, we have a platform.
Kind of legit.
We have a community, yeah. And as I've, I guess, gotten up to speed over the last 5-6 weeks, like realizing like how strong that community is, how solid the brand, just kind of platform is. It's been awesome news, right? It's all gravy. I think, coming in, I knew that we had a track record. I knew Bartosz and Jordan had done some cool things, but now learning like the full history of Cupcake's partnership with the Claynosaurus, Cupcake with the Saga, Cupcake with Bonk, Lollapalooza, Tommy Hilfiger, right? There's like a lot of good stuff that this team has done that, is just, for us, it's like, an incredible foundation.
So with your experience of like working with Vayner in the Web3 sector of things, and then now getting into working with Cupcake, You've obviously seen the space grow. It's gone from, in 2021 when we 2021 when we didn't really have any direction to over the last 3 years we've grown in a lot of ways. What do you think right now is the biggest problem that we have to overcome moving into the rest of 2024 and the future there on out?
Yeah, I think like consumers need more fun ways to interact with the blockchain. I really think that like right now, if I think about what most people are doing on chain, it's like farming points by levering up their SOL to liquid stake it for B SOLs and then put it on MarginFi and like do a 5x multiple. Like that it's not really that fun. It's fun to get rewards. It's fun to like mess around on blockchain, but the fun stuff is what we're going to try and build. I think Cupcake is aiming for like a more fun, more engaging way to interact socially with your friends, your community, your buds, but also to do that on chain and to have all the benefits that having rewards in an economy on chain can give you.
And do you look at that as like, because the other thing with that is a lot of people have said over the years, like, do we need to use the term NFT? Do we need to change some of the terminology? Is this something where, you want to have ways that people are operating with the blockchain, but not even knowing that they're operating? Okay.
That's right.
And why is that?
Because I think we don't talk about MP3s, we talk about music, right? We don't talk about, any of the technology that underpins this stuff. We talk about the use case for it. And I think for us, do you want a cupcake, right? You don't want an NFT, but it's hard to say no to a cupcake.
That's another bar.
It's a bar. It's hard to say no to a cupcake. This man with the 2001 trying to shill his bags over here.
He was early.
I wasn't even thinking. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking Honda Civic?
Kind of switching gears here, but how much of a degen are you? Like, how long have you been in the space personally, maybe investing in NFTs, meme coins, and what are some of the favorite ones that have just caught your attention?
Yeah. My entry price to ETH was $20.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So this was early 2020.
Hey,
Life flex.
he's got money. He's
20
got money.
No. If
Let me see your wallet real quick.
Yeah,
This is actually a fun
yeah.
segment we have where we look at your wallet and we write down your credit card
you guys
number.
do that all, you know my seed price too?
Yeah, we're going to put it on the screen here.
There you
All
go.
16 words.
Yeah, it was 2016. And I was kind of climbing the corporate ladder at KPMG doing like boring corporate strategy stuff. But one of the guys that worked for me was like, bro, we gotta follow the devs. We gotta get in this Ethereum thing. And I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of just watched my money go up and down over those years. And then it was 2021 when I think it was Top Shot was like very exciting. I wasn't a Top Shot guy, but my boss was like, dude, this is going to change sports and entertainment. We need to learn about this and make sure we can like talk to clients about why this is important. This is all pre-Vayner. So I just kind of went down the rabbit hole. This isn't a good story. My first NFT was Stoner Cats. So that was it was because I was looking at it from this Hollywood media angle, and I was like, oh, it's going to disrupt Hollywood.
Were you part of the lawsuit?
I was part of like the crazy mint where we lost a shit ton on gas fees. But no, that was my first one. But then all those early ones like Tom Sachs Rocket Factory was an early one by a cool artist. I actually spun up like a Twitter account, my anonymous Twitter account back in the day that was pulling scraping price data down from OpenSea and Rarity Tools rarity data. I'd made this little Python web scraper and was just publishing like data online of like how if there were any snipes, if there were like super rare NFTs that were underpriced relative to others. I really didn't make a lot of money even though I was early on all this stuff. But I did that's exactly how Gary found me. He saw me on Twitter posting cool data and analytics and said, hey, him and his team were like, hey, we're trying to build a strategy team. Come join us.
That's that's so cool because I feel like we've all just kind of realized how powerful Twitter really is as a tool. Because there's been so many people that I've even seen in this space that have been able to acquire jobs, get noticed, and simply because they're putting out their value on Twitter. They're not waiting for permission or they're not like waiting for some sort of catalyst to do it. It's just like you just went out and did it and all of a sudden you got noticed. And it's just like that whole thing probably changed a course of, where you were going professionally for sure.
Yeah. And that's advice I give is like, just bring your superpower to the table, whatever it is. If you're an artist, if you're a math data person, if you're a lawyer, like crypto has room for all these different superpowers and just putting it out there leads to, crazy connections, crazy things you wouldn't have expected. So yeah, 100%.
Love that.
I love that.
So here's my question for you off that. So, Gary Vee has obviously created an incredible resume over the years of all the different things he's done. I feel like he's motivated an entire generation of people who grew up watching his videos and him just, all the different things he'd be yelling at you through the phone, and you just felt motivated after that to go do some things. So after working with him for a few years, what were some of your biggest, I guess, takeaways or lessons or new habits that you picked up from working with somebody like Gary Vee?
Yeah, I think a couple things. One directly from Gary was just this obsession with the consumer. I think the reason he understands social, the reason he understands how to do brand marketing in 2024 is because he's just consumer obsessed, right? He bought a pickleball team 18 months before everyone's talking about pickleball. Somehow he knew that there were those kernels. He, bought CryptoPunks before everyone was buying CryptoPunks. He's early to so many of these trends, and it's because he's like listening. And he's not, he does a lot of talking on social, but like he has a whole team of people just scouring the internet and understanding the pulse of culture. And I think for me, that was like, okay, that's something, especially as we build Cupcake, like we deeply need to understand Solana culture, then crypto culture, and then internet culture broadly. So that's like number one thing. Number two thing, this wasn't from Gary, but it was from my direct boss, Avery, who's now the chief marketing officer with Gary. Hers was start by starting. And like you just got to get going, and you might not know exactly where you're going to go, but like just start by starting. Coming from like a more analytical consulting background, a lot of time we just focus on like long-term strategy and planning, and then it's like, sometimes you just got to get going.
And are you taking that lesson and taking that in with Cupcake and kind of going, hey, like let's figure out what we're gonna do, but like sometimes we don't necessarily need to have like a perfect direction already thought up. Sometimes we just need to start by starting, get going, and then we're just gonna figure this shit out as we're trying to solve these problems.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think the best example of that is we took some very scrappy demos to Mountain DAO a couple of weeks ago. We have a pretty solid product direction and are going to be launching, over the course of the next several months. But we had, mock-ups and wireframes and Figma prototypes, and we took all that to Salt Lake City 2 weeks ago and just had the community, break our shit. And I think using that user feedback accelerated us just so much faster because we suddenly knew that people kept getting stuck on question A, or people were getting tripped up in the user flow or the onboarding flow, right? And so that type of just, hey, put it out there and get all the feedback you need, I think is the right way to build products in crypto.
So if we're looking at things like a year from now, and you've now been in Cupcake for a year and a half or however long it'd be at that time period, what do you want to be able to say that you've accomplished so far in your tenure with Cupcake?
Let's see, you said a year and a half?
Yeah.
I think how fast we can go, how big we can get.
That's like
I would
6 years in crypto.
Yeah, right. I would love to be the crypto app that crosses the chasm to mainstream, right? I think there's been so many attempts and so many things have gotten close. I think like Step and even Friend Tech, stuff like that is like very close to being, interesting to people that aren't just super crypto native. So I think we're going to be the first ones to do it. I don't know if we can do it in 18 months. Yeah, I think we could. I think we got to do it before this bull market's over. So we got to move quick. So that would be one thing. I think, even if we do that or don't do that, I think we also just want to be a positive impact on this space. I think this space is so interesting. It's helped artists be able to find new revenue streams. It's helped creators create in new ways. It's helped entrepreneurs build new businesses. And I think we want to be a force for good to keep pushing the space forward. So if nothing else, I think, we want to just leave our mark as being, a positive part of the ecosystem. But yeah, I'd love to go beyond. I'd love to kind of stretch the walls.
That's cool. You mentioned a little bit earlier about Solana culture. Can you talk a little bit about your experience with Solana, and especially because you've been in Ethereum for so long, kind of what was your experience when you first started using Solana, and how's it been since?
Yeah, that's a great question because I am super new to Solana. Not new. I've been investing in it kind of alongside all my portfolio, but like not deep in the culture side. There was a guy on my team actually at Vayner who was like our resident like token Solana guy. And he would keep us updated and be like, holy shit, man, this new brand DeGods is like popping up. We gotta pay attention. So I remember those days. And we've been like watching it, but like I wasn't super deep. I think my first Solana NFT I minted, which was like, last cycle, was a rug. And I was like, fuck this place. I'm not I'm not messing around. I'm out of my depth. But, I think the last 6 months and then getting out to Mountain Dow and spending time at ETH Denver, which I think we all agree was like Soul Denver.
Hey.
You know, it was a great opportunity to like actually get in the space and meet the right people and, you know, meet guys like yourselves, guys like, you know, our whole kind of extended Cupcake team, because, you know, all that in-person stuff is how you actually feel like you're part of it. And I think getting a chance to meet everyone, it's interesting. It's like a parallel universe, right? Like there's all the stuff that happened with ETH, OpenSea got vampire attacked by LooksRare and now Blur. I mean, all that stuff is kind of playing out in similar but different ways in Solana. So there's just like a ton of parallels. Awesome artists, great community. I mean, it feels the same, but I think when everything crashed last cycle, I think Solana is sort of this new beginning now, and you know, who knows where we go this time. It's a parallel universe with a totally unwritten future. So yeah, fun to see what
Another bar.
So what do you think, with all the experience that you have in Web3 and all this, what do you think is going to be the type of product that's going to take things truly mainstream? Because when I think about it, NBA Top Shot was the first one that you heard people talk about that had no experience in crypto or NFTs at all. They just started talking about NFT. I can't even say it. NBA Top Shot, and it was strictly because they were huge basketball fans, and this was a way that they could essentially collect one of their favorite players even more than previous. So, you know, with that, there were obviously some logistical issues and some problems that they had that kind of kept them from maintaining that momentum. But that was something that did tap into the Web 2 audience. So what type of product do you think it'll take to really get people interested from the Web 2 perspective, that really, again, will have no true clue that they're operating within, you know, the blockchain and things like that? And I guess like bonus question on top of that, and take your answer wherever you want, because this is super, super broad at this point, but is, you know, how much do you pay attention to what other people have tried and kind of do you look at it kind of from your analytical background and kind of go, okay, why didn't this work? And how do we think about why there was interest in this to begin with? And then how do we look at why it didn't work? And how do we think of something that's even better that could take some of the things that they did do right, take some of the things that they did wrong, work off that, and go from there?
It's a big question.
Yeah, broad, super broad. I just went on a 30-second tangent.
To be honest, it's the question, right, for what we're building. I think, like, you know, we're focused at Cupcake, at least, so I'll answer it from our perspective, on creating new social experiences. If I look at, like, the typical social landscape today, social media landscape today, it's full of passively doom scrolling through an endless supply of content. It's not a very enjoyable experience. If you think about, like, TikTok, which has one of the highest engagement rates, it's only like 4%, which means that anyone that sees a post, 4% of them are commenting, liking, engaging, interacting. The other 96 are literally just swiping through the next. So it's not a very fun experience. And so what Cupcake's gonna aim to do is build a more active social experience. If I think about what happens when people are active online, sharing, commenting, engaging, you get Wordle, right? You get Flappy Bird, right? From a brand perspective, you get Lululemon, or you get Peloton, these things that, like, you know, maybe don't have a ton of users, but they're really passionate about the brand, right? And so you're able to take an audience and turn it into a community. And I think that's what we're gonna sort of aim to incentivize. So we'll be a social experience, but it'll look a lot more like Duolingo than, you know, TikTok, right? TikTok, passive engagement, scrolling through your feed. Duolingo, you're earning rewards for actively learning a language, or actively experimenting, or actively commenting, or having an experience, right? It puts you as the user as the main character of the app. So without, you know, sharing too much alpha about what Cupcake's building, that's kind of the angle that we're taking to create new, very active social experiences. And then the second part of your question, you know, around like, how do you kind of learn from the challenges in other places? I mean, I think most like things that have come close to crossing the chasm were basically built on speculation. And I think Cupcakes, you know, certainly we're building a rewards economy. We're going to be, you know, having prizes and rewards and giveaways and incentives, but we're not going to, you know, drop a token on day one, or do things that basically, you know, have created business models. If I look at like a Friendtech or a Step-In, right? You see the exact same curve play out, where price goes way up and then, you know, it comes crashing back to earth. So I think, you know, we're just going to be really smart about building a real business first, and then supercharging it with the Web3 technology. I think Web3, like I've kind of said earlier, it's like the foundational technology of our business, not the way we're going to market it. We're not going to talk about the price of cupcakes. We're going to talk about, how cupcakes play in this rewards economy and the artists that created our cupcakes, right? It'll be, we're building a real business. And I think that's hopefully going to work.
So token on day 2. No.
Yeah, it's like day 3, day 4.
So I'm hearing there's an app. I'm hearing there's cupcakes.
I'm hearing there's an allocation for Sonny and I when the token.
Is Cupcake chain agnostic?
We are built on Solana. I think there's, plenty of possibilities. No one is, in my mind, no one has really built a product that is actually omni-chain or multi-chain or poly-chain or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that's worked. I think we want to nail it with a core set of users and core technology and do one thing great. But then, there's definitely a world where, maybe we get big enough that, we want to tap into new communities or we want to honor different artists that are participating in other places. There's a world where that happens. But I think for now, we're on Sol.
Bullish.
Wait, real quick, Paul. Should we wrap up from here? I feel like this has been great, but I want to make sure it stays. That was a great, however long we just went.
Awesome.
You guys feel good on it?
Yeah.
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 Hey, wanna wrap up?
Well, hey man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you're cooking up in the kitchen.
Hey,
bacon, or do we call it bacon though? Because if you're making cupcakes,
We're baking, man.
you're baking.
We're baking.
My last question. What's your favorite type of cupcake?
Ooh.
That is, it's the one question I wasn't prepared for, man. I'm gonna say double chocolate, maybe a little.
Chocolate, okay.
I like cookie dough ice cream. Yeah, I'm unprepared for that one. I think I like all cupcakes equally.
Okay, what about you, Sonny?
Ooh. So there's the cupcake spot sprinkles.
Yeah.
They're fire.
Yeah.
Crack. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The PB&J joint,
Okay.
low-key goes hard.
I'm
What about
gonna go
Marc?
with the old trusty funfetti.
Oh,
Funfetti?
Funfetti.
You
Just
look
hits.
like a funfetti.
You know what? I'm not gonna. I'm done with your shit today,
this is good.
Sonny.
We're taking orders because tomorrow there will be some cupcakes.
Oh, I heard. I heard some stuff is going down in this office
good.
tomorrow with
Yeah,
cupcakes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very excited
Yeah.
about
Well, you watch yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, you watch your face.
Awesome.
Oh, well, hey, man, excited to see where you take Cupcake. Excited to see everybody else in the team. You got a team full of killers, so excited to see where you guys take it. But, hey, I'm looking forward to somebody truly. We talk about bridging the gap. We've been talking about bridging the gap. I'm looking forward to somebody truly bridging the gap, and I feel like you guys can do that with some cupcakes.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys both for the time, for having me on. For anyone listening, if you're as excited as we are, I think it's cupcake.com. It's easy to remember. Join the wait list and help us build this thing because we need you.
There we go. Well, hey, guys, we'll talk to you guys soon. See you guys.
Get out of here.
How we doing, boys?
Life is good. How are you doing?
I just want to talk about how I'm the greatest player on Gorilla Jump on Cupcake.
You've come a long way.
I don't know about that.
I'm
I
the
don't know
GOAT.
about that. I
I'm-
saw you get a
I'm the
fat
GOAT.
0 yesterday.
Nope.
So
I'm 0 to 100 now.
there
What's
it is.
what's the high score?
Just a light million.
Couple
Nothing
digits, a
crazy.
little double-digit
Nothing
action,
crazy.
okay.
Just 7 digits.
There we go. There we
Slight
go.
work.
Let's
Chris,
go.
Chris, for people who don't know who you are, can you give a 30-second intro to yourself?
Yes. What's up, everyone? My name's Chris, Cupcake CEO. Here in Chicago, building new consumer app on crypto. I think the space needs more fun, accessible, social ways to have fun in the space, learn about blockchain, celebrate the culture of crypto. I think crypto it's a cultural revolution as well as a technological one. We focus a lot on the tech, but what Cupcake's doing is focusing on the culture, the fun, what we're all building together, the art, the music, the fashion. The space is full of such rich creators, people, developers, builders, and I think that's what we want to celebrate.
There
Hey,
we
you
go.
play music yourself.
I do, yeah.
A little bit in the office. I heard it live. The singing, the guitar,
I
everything.
dabble a little trumpet.
Okay, yeah.
Music's always been a big, just kind of side hobby, and it's fun to bring that to the table, just at the right moments. But it's also it's kind of meditative for me. I can sit back and play music and kind of not think, which is very fun or very needed.
No,
There we go.
100%. That's how I feel when I hoop. It's like
Yeah.
same thing. It's like I think it's important for people to, I don't know, just know that you have other hobbies and interests outside of just being a DJ 24/7
Yeah,
and in the
exactly.
crypto space and meme coining and whatever else, playing games
yeah.
on Cupcake vibes.
Yeah, so we did a podcast episode with you back in, I think that was March, right? That we were out here, Sonny?
Yeah,
And-
March.
yeah, and so we're probably going to end up putting those episodes out at the same exact time. Like
do
it
it.
might be that episode and this back to back. So if people are watching this now, they'll know where that's coming from. But so you guys recently launched a game literally yesterday.
Yeah.
So talk to us about like what is this game? What was the point of launching it?
Yeah.
What were your expectations with it? And where are your hopes of where it's going and everything like that?
Yeah, we've come a long way since we last talked. I think the point of Cupcake, kind of similar to what I just said, is to build new ways to engage with crypto. Right now, if I talk to my mom, my cousin, my friends who are, they understand what blockchain is, they've got their Coinbase account set up, they own some Solana, some Bitcoin. They're like, okay, what can I do in crypto? I show them a chart. And when they see the chart, their eyes go cross-eyed because, they're not traders. They're not, trading stocks. I think there's a small portion of the world that gambles, that trades, that whatever. And most people, that's not something they normally do. And so what I want to build in crypto is something that I can share with a friend who's curious, that says, hey, this is kind of a familiar game. It's something you can, you're selecting different, in the game you have would you rather, truth or dare, this or that, two truths and a lie. It's these fun social games that we all play and, kind of just have fun with anyway, all about crypto culture. You're collecting, collectible cupcakes, which are NFTs, and then you're earning tokens and prizes. So everything is on chain in the game, but it's just that easy entry point, something that I can share with a friend. I think we might have said, on the first podcast, like people might be scared of charts, they're scared of crypto, there's scams, there's fraud, there's all the things that have, been shooting ourselves in the foot in crypto, but no one is scared of a cupcake. And I think that's why, our brand is all about something that's shareable, fun, and, hard not to like.
You know what I thought was actually really interesting when I logged into Cupcake yesterday was in the top right corner, it said connect to Google.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, was that like a very intentional thing on the back end? Because it leads itself to obviously Connect Wallet, and obviously in Web 2 you always just see like log in with Google or anything like that. So when I saw the Connect with Google, I was like, this has to be extremely intentional in terms of what you're talking about, like being able to send it to a friend.
Yeah, exactly. I think, and we'll experiment with other wallets, but I mean, big shout out to TipLink, who's our wallet partner. They have built what I've been looking for in crypto for years, which is just that one-click sign-on. I think for years we've been doing the, connect 6 different wallets, or, maybe you can sign in with Coinbase Commerce and do this other thing with a Shopify backend. There's all these things that we did back when I was at Vayner, when we were doing projects with the Budweisers, the Pepsis of the world that were meant to almost be, like Web 2.5 or something. And it just didn't really work. And this is the first wallet I've ever seen where you one-click sign in with Google. You get a digital wallet on the back end. You can export the keys on TipLink. It just works. And what we were like thrilled with was just how good that team was in working with us and making sure that frictionless experience was for our users. So yeah, big shout out again to TipLink, and super intentional choice. I want it to be even Web3 users who are super used to connecting their wallet still kind of hate the clunkiness. They're still just internet users.
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I connected my Google.
Yeah, it was easy.
I didn't even do my wallet.
Every other website you go
Yeah.
to, whatever it is, FanDuel, whatever, you just one-click sign on. Why would crypto be any different?
Yeah.
And so I think for us, it's a huge step forward in onboarding, and we're super excited about it.
I love that.
So what was your goal? Obviously, when you launch something like that, what was your goal? 24-hour goal. What do I want to see? How many people do I want to see sign up? How many people do I want to see play the game? Everything like that. And then, if we're having the same conversation a year from now, what would you view as a success?
Yeah.
Not in terms of numbers, but in terms of just overarching. Like, what do you want the game to develop into?
Yeah, no, and I think it's so hard when you're launching a new product into a new space. We're kind of in a wait and see part of the cycle where we're kind of chopping right now, and so we didn't know if there'd be hype. We did not expect 7,000 users on day one. We did not expect 250,000 games played on day one, and those metrics are real. And like, I was pretty thrilled with the just people picking up the phone and using it. So super happy about that. I was hoping to crack the 10K mark in our first month. I think we're going to do that in our first week. If we can all knock on wood, if our our growth continues. But yeah, fantastic launch where there's real users playing the games, having fun, and they're coming back, which is huge. A year out, we have a big, really ambitious vision. I think we want to be the app that breaks into more mainstream culture. We've seen the Steppins of the world. We've seen the Friendtechs. I mean, the Top Shot is probably one of the early examples of things that, kind of broke that barrier and were interesting to people that weren't crypto users, but they were interested in the actual content of that platform, right? I'm an NBA fan, and so this is fun for me to, kind of collect my NFTs on Top Shot. So what we want to do is win in Solana first, win in crypto next, and then win in sort of the adjacent areas of the internet culture. And I think that's pretty ambitious. But I think, again, it's fun social games. You're collecting cupcakes. The experience kind of feels like Duolingo, where you're leveling up, you're earning your badges. You can use those, rewards in different places across the internet. So I think, thinking about it like a Duolingo, thinking about it like a next generation of social app where you're not just scrolling through a feed of other people's photos, scrolling through a feed of other people's videos. You're actually kind of in the driver's seat making those choices of your own. And, we'll expand into, more social features, different ways for people to engage, different ways for people to collect their NFTs. The NFTs will have different uses across the ecosystem. Can't share too much more about the vision because we just launched, so there's a lot of building left to do. But yeah, I think that's kind of the big ambition, is to be that next crypto app that, people are coming to play, not even realizing they're doing it on blockchain rails.
So Sonny talked earlier about being able to log in via email. So, I'm not sure if at all this is part of your plan with it. Is like, so I would assume over the course of the next few months, you guys will have different iterations of the game and everything like that come out. Is that another way that you can essentially let us know that there's a new iteration of the game? Is like, I would assume, collected my email information, and then you could therefore email me and say, hey, we got a new iteration of the game, or like, here's the leaderboard of who's crushing it right now on the game. Like, make sure you're leveling up. We got this new prize coming, something along those lines. Like, is that another way to communicate with people? Because that's one form of Web3 or form of like communication that Web3 doesn't typically do, is traditional email marketing, which has done well for a large period of time. So is that something you guys are planning on doing?
Yeah, I'm super bullish on email. We before we launched the app, we had a 10,000 person email wait list, and that was a conversation we had with the team, was like, why does no one use email? This is a huge opportunity for us to build a real email list. We'll never spam our users with a shit ton of emails. Like, that's definitely not part of the game plan, but I think it's such a good information channel. One of the most interesting things, I think, in our app is you have people, who's got the most based logo in crypto. Okay, they're choosing between two different things. What's the best meme coin that you're most bullish on? What's overhyped, underhyped? We have a lot of cool information that I think we can publish in like an email newsletter form that helps people understand, the sentiment in the space. And I think that's an interesting way we'll use email, is actually sharing content from our app, because I think people are curious. Like, I saw a guy on Twitter today posting like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, this meme coin is being, voted over this meme coin, and just a new data point for people to think about.
That's actually really interesting. I didn't think of it to a perspective of like when you're playing the overhyped, underhyped game, for example, that, for your end, you're collecting all this data and you can actually post about it. I think I actually saw one today that Cupcake posted about DeGods, and it was like underhyped,
a little overhyped,
and it was on like 17% or something like that. I was like, okay, I see how y'all feel about us, but no, I think that's really cool. And yeah, to that point, like email marketing, I think also email marketing, I've noticed from a couple other companies, has started to ramp up a lot. Like, just ones that I've been seeing in my inbox, like Magic Eden has been like a pretty prominent one that I've been like, okay, they're like starting this marketing push in this way. And obviously that's going to be another way to be able to onboard people. I was going to ask, what's your favorite game right now within Cupcake?
It's Gorilla Jump.
Gorilla
Jump, man. Yeah, that is the hero game. Each week we're going to have a new hero game based on one of our partners. And so, I mean, shout out to Cube. We're in the Cube offices. I still call it the Cupcake offices.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in the Cube offices, special guest Cupcake. And Cube's one of our partners, great crypto exchange. And they have a trading algorithm called Gorilla Jump. And it's this cool algorithm where you can, bid the over and the under or something. It does some cool, fancy algorithm. I'm not a trader. But it's an algorithm that they put in their product, mainstream users can use. They want to get the awareness out that this is, an algorithm that people can use. So for them, it's an awesome branding opportunity because everyone's talking about Gorilla Jump. For us, it's a fun game in the app. You're bouncing off the walls as a little gorilla trying to collect cupcakes. We will be launching a leaderboard on that, I hope, next week. And we have prizes, rewards from, Cube to users who are actually playing the Gorilla Jump game. So it's kind of this nice flywheel. But we always want our partner games to be like the main event that week. And so Gorilla Jump off to a great start. I play a lot of Gorilla Jump.
Do you see yourself like building something out in the future where I could, because I think about like in the early 2000s, there were websites where you would log on and there were all these different games that people like came to know and love and play all the time. You had like Kitten Canyon and stuff like that. Like
Mini
people
golf?
got,
Yeah,
like,
mini clip or something.
Mini
like
clip, mini golf, like all these different things. And there's so many different games. And so like I could see, 6 months from now where I log on to the Cupcake website and I can play Gorilla Jump, or I could play, I don't know, maybe you guys have some sort of collaboration with like Bonk, and there's like a Bonk game that I can play, and there's like a collaboration with Klano, and there's a Klano game, or something, with DeGods or whatever, and I could see that where all of a sudden you're bringing in the people who sure are also playing because they want the rewards and everything like that, but then also people who are like, I just enjoy this one game where I want to play that because I feel connected to it from a community standpoint or things like that, and essentially you could drive all these people who are coming in from different, like whatever their main, love and wanting to support, they have a reason to come to the Cupcake website and keep them coming back. Because I feel like one of the hardest parts with a game like this or a site like this is like, how do you get that person coming back 5 months from now, right? And that could be that way. So what is your strategy on, retaining all these people that you have coming to the website right now?
Yeah, I think, on that front, we'll listen to the community. Our thought is there's a big innovation here around this TikTok style feed of little social games, right? I think there's something exciting about the fact that you don't know what that next game is going to be. And that was our thesis going in. We've heard a little bit that same viewpoint that like, shit, I just want to play Gorilla Jump all day. And if we hear that from enough, community members, we're open to, listening to their feedback and building the app towards being able to select your game. But I think there's something cool about the unexpected surprise and delight of like, what's that next game going to be? And we're going to have game creators actually build games on our platform. So you can imagine like we're like kind of like a TikTok for devs, where they can build kind of fun little game mechanics and see what works, and their games get upvoted and downvoted. I think that's like kind of exciting. But again, we'll listen to the community. I think retention is a huge thing I'm focused on. I think we have seen mobile games have like the average retention over a week is like 4% or something. So we have our 7,000 users on day one. We'll have 700 or 300 by the end of the week. That's not what we're going to do. And I think crypto is a space where people are excited to try out new things, and we're going to keep shipping new things, new features, new products, new NFT mechanics that kind of incentivize people to realize that this is a very dynamic experience. Going back to my points earlier on culture is always changing. There's always a new meta, a new meme, a new token, a new trend. And I think what our platform is designed to do is to kind of flex and swim, with the current of culture. And so I think that's why people will come back, is because there's always something new. Next week, we're launching 4 or 5 new games. The week after, same thing. So I think the idea is that we're just kind of constantly keeping the app up to date with what's exciting in crypto. And my thought is that will be exciting for users.
You got me cooking a little bit in my head of what kind of games we could potentially make or something
Let's
like
do
that.
it.
But I was gonna ask, like, obviously, going up to launch takes a lot of your time of just being like kind of heads down on Cupcake. Do you get time to just kind of interact with Solana in a way of just like, are you investing in any meme coins, looking at NFT projects? Are people sending you alpha? Are you in group chats? Like, how much are you able to maybe just even balance like working heads down on Cupcake and then kind of staying a part of what's going on, trends, and actually involving yourself?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. I think really intentionally, I've been out on the road a lot, even during this kind of pre-launch phase as we're getting ready. I was out at Mountain DAO, what was right after that, ETH Denver, NFT NYC. I was in Dubai a couple weeks ago for Token 49. I really wanted to get out there to meet the full community, and Dubai was especially cool to meet the global Solana community. So I've been trying to be really intentional about that. I think it just becomes, and this is my first CEO gig, but I'm realizing that the job involves, you're working almost at all points in time. This is work right now. We were out at the bar last night. We were working. We were talking about the space. We were learning about what we are each excited about. And I think for me, it's just I'm redefining work, and it becomes a lot more about engaging with the community, understanding what's going on. I will say, if you guys want to share more alpha with me, send it this way. I can always use a little more alpha. But yeah, I'm trying to be a really active participant, not just in building Cupcake, but really understanding what's happening in Solana. Going back to, again, the culture point, like that's what gets me excited. I think fantastic tech. It works. There's a huge roadmap. Excited for Fire Dancer. Excited for all local fee markets, whatever the latest innovations on Solana are. Super excited there. But I think there's, again, this like very rich culture of cool people that, you know, are worth getting to know and worth understanding, you know, what people are excited about.
I think there's also like, you know, the ecosystem rewards people and CEOs and founders and whatnot who do drastically pay attention to what's going on in this space, because this space moves so damn quick. And so when you do notice that like a founder is in the trenches and they're paying attention to what's going on and everything like that, those founders are the ones that kind of pivot quick enough and really stay up to date on the ecosystem and everything like that. And I think that is one of the most bullish things that a founder can do, because again, it's like if you're not in the trenches, then you end up like talking about things that were the meta 3 months ago, 5 months ago, whatever, and then you're late on it. But the founders that pivot and are like, hey, we're gonna lean into runes right now when not enough people are talking about them, or we're gonna lean into 404s when the meta's not as like hype in this moment, but maybe it's gonna be hype in a month from now, right? Like, okay, maybe I'm gonna lean into whatever that may be. Like, we're gonna, I don't know, include something like, I don't know if you guys are gonna include other ecosystems down the road or anything like that, but like, who knows? I don't know, maybe you guys put in some random shit from like Monad before that drop comes, right? There's so many different things that you can do, and I think the ecosystem loves people who stay at the forefront of all of that versus the people that are like reacting from a reactionary standpoint versus just like staying at the forefront, knowing what's going on, and then pivoting because it makes sense.
Yeah, you have to. And I think like the other side of it, I'll talk a little out of both sides of my mouth, is one, you have to have a set vision, you have to have a mission, you have to be, have clarity. You can't get shiny new object syndrome, because there is so much going on in the space that like it's very easy to pivot 15 times because of what's happening. Whatever trending project is popping off, it's like, oh shit, we have to be here, we have to be there. Now we're going to pivot to runes. Now we're going to be on 404s. Those are the most exciting things in the space right now. But they're also not, that's just I guess my job is to figure out, what is worth pursuing as a business. You can't put your blinders on and blindly go at a single vision and be super inflexible, but you also can't be shiny new object jumping on every single latest trend. Yet I think what we're building is this this rotating social game idea that the content on our app can take advantage of all that shiny new object syndrome. Whatever anyone is excited about will show up on Cupcake. The core of our business, the tech, the business model itself, I hope we have like a nice vision for that we'll pivot, but remains, at least somewhat steady.
100%. So,
is the alpha right now collecting as many cupcakes as you can right now on the website, or can you give us a little alpha for the pod?
I will always say, the more you play, the more you can collect.
Political. We'll take it.
Is it going to be a cupcake summer?
I think it's definitely going to be Solana summer, and I would love to be part of it.
There we go. I mean, yeah, I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm just looking forward to seeing where this goes from here. I mean, we both played the game yesterday, really enjoyed it, and now it's about kind of seeing where it goes and everything like that. And I'm curious. You said you guys have 5 new games dropping next week?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's
5 more games for me to beat you at, Marc.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. 5 more for me to give you buckets on, sir. Buckets.
We do have a. I won't.
Oh wait.
Reveal it all.
Wait, is there a basketball game?
If that's coming, we gotta lock in. If that's coming, we gotta lock in.
There's a very fun game coming that might have something to do with shooting something into something else.
Okay. Oh.
We know Marc won't be able to do that.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. No, I'm looking forward to destroying Sonny. We'll come up with some sort of. We'll talk with the team. We'll come up with some sort of way that Sonny and I can compete against each other.
We will do some PvP stuff. Yeah, that would honestly.
We need the PvP.
Live PvP
we definitely need the PvP.
Would be a lot of fun. We've talked a lot about it. There's plenty of stuff we want to go do, but we'll get you guys in the first bracket. Holy cow, that would be a blast.
Yeah, 100%. And I would say that my thing would be keep leaning into the data. Like, you guys are deriving this really cool data, and I think there's so many ways that you guys can utilize that, and even doing things like reacting to the space moving so quick. Like if you guys take like a meme of like, you know, Jakey when he was in New York doing the you know, the Cybertruck stunt, right? Like, and you take a meme like that, and then you take another meme of somebody else that pops off recently, and then have that be part of the game of choosing which meme is better. But it's like it's done so quickly that like everybody's like, holy shit, that's just like impressive how like fast that was like you know, inputted into the game. I think it's like stuff like that people again really reward, because we're used to the traditional Web 2 method of things, which is slow and clunky and usually outdated, and like you guys have the ability to pivot, adjust on the fly, make things happen quicker. You know, if you do hypothetically have a basketball, you know, game coming, and then you get killer threes, you know, like
why
basketball.
you gotta give my idea away?
Well, I already knew where your idea was going.
You just have to go and spill
like,
the beans. We can't save anything.
You know, but then who knows? Maybe then you get a bunch of DeGod holders playing, or Ute holders, whatever. Then maybe you get like a, I don't know, like a Klano basketball put in there too, and it's competing against them, and now you've got competition there. Like, I think there's just a lot of ways that you can utilize the communities that we've got in this space to get them interested in the game, get them collecting their cupcakes, reward them, you know, show that leaderboard of me kicking Sonny's ass, and like you know, that's a beautiful situation right there.
I think that's exactly right. I think there's so much cool stuff going on, and right now the only way to market yourself as a NFT project or as a company in crypto is like, I don't know, sell more NFTs, do merch, or shill on Twitter. And I think there's something fun that we're building that's like a new way to share about your project, new way to share about the lore. And that's exactly right. We want everyone on Cupcake. We want to celebrate this whole weird crypto world together. And there's just not enough tools to do that, right? Like, the last thing you want to be saying is, oh, get in the Discord and get your early access link for XYZ. Like, no, go play basketball on Cupcake, right? Like, that's so much more fun, an easier way for projects to collaborate in the ecosystem. So you guys are getting the vision. I love it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of organic content that can come from it too, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful part. I'd say last question. What's your favorite song to play on the guitar?
Oh man. You know, I picked up one of these little like finger picks the other day and learned Jolene.
Oh,
it's like a little
classic.
bluegrass Jolene version.
yeah.
I've been playing a ton of that lately, and it's just very cool. You guys know Jolene, right?
Oh, I do. Sonny, you know Jolene? I didn't want to say I didn't think you knew Jolene.
Oh, bro, we'll get you on Jolene.
Jolene.
It's a good one. Miley Cyrus does a good cover. Who's that?
not
Dolly
my strong
Dolly
suit.
Parton.
Yeah, yeah.
Not my strong suit.
Sonny, you know who Dolly Parton. Dolly
Yeah.
Parton is, right? Okay, yeah.
Okay, good.
What's your favorite asset of Dolly Parton?
What?
She's known for something. We're not going to talk about it. We're not
Oh
going
my
to talk
God.
about
Doesn't
it.
she have beautiful hair?
That beautiful, voluptuous hair. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, Amy's staring daggers at me right now.
Oh, just keep no comment.
Anywho, so with that, Amy Street, stop staring at me. This is we are looking forward to the next chapter of Cupcake, seeing where you guys take the game, seeing some of these implementations of you know, these different ways that you're going to involve the communities and everything like that. And
I mean, you gave it away. We're doing a Killer Threes basketball game. So
oh wait, that's already
Love it.
like that's already planned.
Guess it's planned. No, it's awesome, guys. Thanks
There
for
we
having
go.
me on.
we just did it right now on the podcast.
Well, there it is. There it is.
That's why you hang with the community.
Yeah, facts.
New ideas. No, I love it. Thank you guys for having me on.
Appreciate you
Always
for
good to
having
chill
us.
with you dudes.
We'll
Love
do
it.
we'll do recaps when we're out here next. So
Love it. Cupcake.com. Play the game.
there it is.
Collect
Use my
cupcakes.
referral code.
Use my
It
referral
might be
code.
Sunny or Sunny Maanz. I don't know.
Good
Send
thing I
it
can
around.
Something.
Send it
I'm gonna
around.
send it. I'm gonna
Wait,
post it.
check the
underneath
description
this.
below for the referral code, and that will be my referral code.
Just go to my Twitter page.
Don't go to Sunny's Twitter page. And anywho, Chris, thank you for coming on. We'll have you back on next time we're here.
Good stuff.
Live from Cube.
Thank
Let's
you,
go.
guys.
See you guys.